Shut up and sit down.
Greetings, fellow travelers. Oblix here, coming at you today from FTB Revelation. How y'all doing today? So last time we built this cow, sheep, pig, and chicken farm, automating with the killy and making all the giblets. So let's pop on down here with some armor on, hopefully, so we don't break our ankles. And you can see it is working a treat. Are getting plenty of essence as well. Fantastic. So now we want to start putting all these deliciousness things to good use. We're going to do that today, guys, by first connecting our refined storage system, this guy right here, out to the farm out here, so we can see all those things in our system. So we're gonna need to make a device. Refined external. So we're gonna make this external storage device. And what this allows us to do is connect refined storage to some other storage product. So outside, we're storing everything in storage drawers. So that's what we want to use to hold those items, but we want to still be able to see them within our refined storage system, and this is going to allow us to do that. So we need to make this destruction core, which is real easy, just a basic and some quartz, and a construction core, which is basic and glowstone. Super easy peasy. And there we go. Now we are going to need some cable. That should be plenty. And if you hear rain, then, or hear no funny noises, that'd be the rain. It is raining outside. So let's just run this back like so. See, there's our cable, so we can just bring that on over like so. And we just want to go this way to our controller, which is right there. So let's bring it down. Where's my dirt? There we go. So we're going to bring this across like so. And we're connected there with our pipe. I think what we will do is move this pipe up. We will move it to the back right here, because if we so choose, we can put a, there we go, conduit facade on this later and hide it. Actually, let me get down here because I want to look up at the bottom of this thing, because I want to put this external storage right there. Now if you open it up and you look over here, here are your settings for it. So ignore redstone is what we want. We do want it set to items. You can do fluids as well if you turn it to fluids, but we're going to leave it on items. You can blacklist, whitelist, do whatever. Look at damage. They're pretty darn flexible. So we are going to just take some cable and run this back like so. And hook it right in there. There we go. Now it should, all those juicy bits should now be in our refined storage system, ready to use. Pop these off. There we go. So now, you know, we should see 200 raw steak, if not more. There may be some already in the system. I guarantee there will be some already in the system. Steak. raw. There we go. Yeah, 456. So there's our pork, our mutton, chicken. So we are definitely getting all that in there. And the reason we have more is because after the last episode, I did kill all the animals that were over there and harvested their bits and flattened that ground out quite a bit. So now what I want to work on is up here, this space right here within the factory. I want to turn this into our kitchen. It's got a nice view looking over the river, Botania section, a little waterfall there. And I think this will be a great place to build our Pam's kitchen. So technically it's cooking for blockheads. So if we do cooking, all these parts right here. Now this is the most important one, the cooking table. This is what gives you access to basically everything else. So to look at the cooking table, we are going to need the Cooking for Blockheads 2 book. To get that, we need the Cooking for Blockheads 1 book. To get that, we need to cook a book. Cook the books like a bad accountant. Ooh, I don't have a book. We need to get a book. Book. And I do not have a furnace up here, so let's go get a furnace. Whoa, where am I going? I should have a furnace right here. Cook the book. There we go. And now, do we have crafting tables? We do. Plenty. There we go. Cooking for Blockheads 2, which is what we needed. Now, take this, and this, and this. Now, as I said, this is the most important part, so it's going to take the center spot right there. And this is what allows you to select what you're going to make, what you're going to cook. Now, the next thing we want, I probably already have one. I do. A sink. So let's get this guy in. I think we'll just plop him right here. Now, these two are a multi-block structure, and they will work together. Now, if I open this guy, you see that it has fresh water or salt. What it's doing is using whatever's in this guy to craft over here. So you can turn water into salt or fresh water. Easy peasy. So the next thing we want to make is an oven. Let's see, do we have ports for the, oh, it wants actually black stained glass. Interesting. Well, we should have enough ink sacks, Lord knows. So there we go, our oven. We can watch the beautiful sunset with our new shiny oven here. And if we open it up, we see that it wants utensils, or specific, pots and pans, basically. So we need to get those pots and pans in there. And it wants a fuel source. That'd be just coal or, whatever burns. So we'll take a stack of coal. And I think I already have some of that bakeware. Pans. I have these. I have these. Okay. So these are straight from Pam's. We can make a pot. We already have the pot. Skillet. We'll get that. And I don't remember what the other one is. Man, what's the other one? They don't list them nicely in here either, so they're hard to find. There we go. Saucepan. That's the one I was missing. So that should get us in our oven. So we just put everything in their assigned slot. Feed it some fuel. Fantastic. Now this will be able to, notice it renders them on the top, which is pretty cool. Now this guy will be able to utilize this guy in making recipes. Anything that needs to be cooked. Now we don't have anything yet, obviously. Anything that needs to be cooked can go in there. Now, the next thing I want to make, back to cooking for blockheads. Actually, let's let's get some of these guys, tool racks. Let's grab a couple for now. This is going to let us use additional tools that we don't have access to here. So for now, I'm just going to pop them like that. And remember, we had a few extra Pam's items. Like the mixing bowl and the mortar and pestle. We can pop those on here, and they now become usable as well to the system, because technically this is the block above this, so they are connected, and this is the block above this, they are connected. Now if I had put it up, one of them, if I put this one up here, like just say I ran them all across up here, they would not be connected and it would not work. But as long as they're touching, it will. So these here are now usable to this system. So anything that's needed, needs, for example, a mortar and pestle, can now use one. So now we want to make some fridges. So I need some iron doors. We'll make 6 of them. I like a lot of fridges. And we're just going to put them right here. And notice they do connect, but only 2 high. If you go 3 high, they don't work anymore. Or they don't connect anymore, I should say. See, they'll just, it won't even let me place it up there. I really want these to be going the same direction. It really doesn't want them to be the same direction, which is annoying. Or if I take this guy out, no, it's just dying to go that way. What if I put this guy here and then this guy? Haha! Trick the system. There you go, storage for all your food's deliciousness. Now these are not connected to this. Notice we have nothing to connect them. So we need to take care of that. So we need 2 counter pieces here, a counter piece here, and a corner piece there. So 3 counters and a corner. So here's our counters. And we have kitchen cabinets, corners. So we need 1 corner. And 1, 2, 3 counters. And that will bridge the connection to our refrigerators. Excellent. Now this guy can now talk to the refrigerators. So if I come over here and get something like raw beef, for example, and let's say I want meat in this first refrigerator. If I look in here, you can now cook things that require beef. But notice it's giving you the cooked steak, not the raw stuff, because it's going to use this oven to cook it. So if I take it out, you'll see it take a second, but it'll go away eventually, because we can't make it anymore. It's like, I'm trying to make it, but I can't. Anywho, trust me, it will go away. If I put it over here and I say, give me a raw steak, double click and you'll see our oven light up. It threw some steak in there, it's now cooking them. it's going to make raw state. And notice it drew from here. So even all the way over here, it does work. But I think I want meat over here. So now I want to continue the cabinets around just to kind of fill out the space. So I want another corner and then another several counters. So we need another corner and counters. So corner. These corners are always a little finicky to get them to place the way you want them. There we go. Excellent. Nice. We have a nice huge kitchen. Fantastic. So we even have an extra one. Now we can add things like a toaster, which we will need a button and a lava bucket, which I should have on me. Yep. I'll just have to remember to replace that, because you know lava is the best tool for making toasters. Now this can sit on any one of these counters and will in fact be used. So if I just pop it here, it can be used now to make toast. You know, if we have bread and want to turn it into toast, it will absolutely do that. We can make one of these fruit biscuits. These are kind of cool just because they look neat. Maybe we'll set it right here. And we can take some fruit, like some apples, and some mayo, some blackberries, some raspberries, some blueberries. Now notice these berries are all from Natura, not from Pam's Harvest Craft, as well as the apples are from just vanilla Minecraft. It can still use those, guys. It can absolutely still use those. I want to leave one in there. So we got cranberries, raspberries, blueberries. And we can pop all these into our fruit container, and you get this nice little cool rendering. Looks like a nice little fruit basket sitting out there. Pretty darn cool. So we can also do spice racks. We need some planks. And then we'll do this. That'll give us a few spice racks, which we can put maybe, I don't know, here. Now those can hold basically anything. But I like to put stuff like, if I have salt, I like to put it there, but I don't have any salt right now. We could put flour, I guess. Not really a spice, but I don't really have any spices per se. We'll definitely go ahead and put the flour there. Just so you can see it and see how you get all these slots you can fill up there, and you get a little rendering on them. Makes it look pretty cool. So every one of these cabinets is storage, where you can put different types of food. Of course, you can put it in the fridge as well. And if you choose to use the overhead cabinets, these guys, you can put stuff there as well. The problem is these are not going to be connected because there is a gap down here. Though with this berry, they might actually be connected. That might be enough to connect them. The fruit basket. Let's try at Pam's. And let's put in, for example, maple syrup. Fantastic. That's a good choice. Always like a little maple syrup in the overhead up here. So we'll just load the maple syrup up farthest away. Now, can this guy use it is the question. Does any of this stuff require maple syrup? Ooh, we need to make a cutting board. And a juicer. None of this requires maple syrup. Dang it. Pork. Raw pork. So we'll put that in our fridge. So we get the pork. And we are not getting... Okay, so now let's take the maple syrup out and just stick it down here for the time being. Now is it showing up? It is not. So yeah, it's not registering yet because I have nothing that uses maple syrup as part of its recipe. So one thing we can see real quick and easy is if I just do put like a meat up there. If I take this calamari, you wouldn't want to store meat in your overhead cabinet, but if, say we did, does that show up here? Yes, it does. Look at that. So this is enough of a connection to make it work. Fantastic. So we can absolutely do that. We'll put calamari here with our beef, or do we put seafood maybe in this one? Yeah, I like that. I like that. So we need to make a cutting board. Cutting board, boom. And we needed to make a juicer. And where's the juicer? Why am I blind? There it is. Don't have that. Okay. Make that, make this, make that, make... There we go. So this is kind of the trick. You just run through and see what you're missing. Continually add it to the system. There we go. Now we'll see if we can actually make these juices. If we wanted to, we can make the stock because we have pork chops and a pot. We can make fruit salad because we have multiple fruits and a cutting board. Notice it did select the nature of fruit. So it is absolutely fully compatible. Or absolutely fully compatible. Wow, words. There you go. So one other thing I want to make before we head off, and I will spend some time, loading this guy up, putting all the, putting a little bit of everything into the system, right? So I put this raw venison, and we'll put in some anchovies and some trout, some grouper and some bass. I mean, we'll put at least some of everything in here that we've collected thus far, because that is going to make it so we can make all manner of different things. See, everything we add in here gives us new stuff we can make. So now we got, cooked venison and cooked turkey, but these meals will become more and more complex as we add more and more stuff to our kitchen, which is awesome, because the more complex the meal, the more benefit you get from the meal. So it is a little bit hard because you have so many things, it's just like, okay, so do I just sit here and, bang on things and hope that I get everything? It does make it a little bit hard to make sure you load up properly. So we got turtles, and tilapia, and snapper. Yeah, snapper. We got crayfish, mudfish, and catfish, and mussels, and octopus, and fish hearts, ugh, sardines, and clams, and carp, jellyfish, snails, and herring, crabs. Good Lord, so much. Ugh. Walleye. And over here, I don't know what we're going to put in here. Probably just vegetables. Garlic you generally keep out, as well as mushrooms, but like rhubarb and zucchini. Sweet potatoes usually keep out too. So we might put those, over here in these cabinets, for example. We can make a garlic cabinet, a sweet tater cabinet, mushroom cabinet, and blackberry. And it's just a matter of how you choose to sort it out, because the system will absolutely work with it. No matter what you choose to do, it's gonna make it work. I try not to get too much of any one thing. I try not to get doubles and triples and quadruples, just because it can clutter your system up pretty darn fast. And then you're like, where did all my space go? Why can't I do anything? Some okra. So yeah, like we already have zucchini, so I don't really need more zucchini. We already have rhubarb. Beans, those actually generally stay out. Scallions, yes. And there are amazing giga pickles. Cotton can stay out. Spice leaf we can put on the spice rack. Okra and radishes. See, we got double radishes. Tea leaves. Just so many things. Frogs. Trying not to get doubles. Probably not doing a good job. Grouper? Did we already get a grouper? I don't see it. Perch. Scallops. Maters. Leeks. Do we already have leeks? No, we have scallions. Oh, yes, we do. We have leeks. So leeks and radishes. Zucchini and rhubarb are already done. That's venison, which we already have. Duck, which we already have. Calamari, we do not. Or did I leave it sitting up in here somewhere? Why? Because it's already over there. Stupid. Alright, so garlic and beans don't go together. Nope. mushrooms, cotton, beans. So you see, as you add more stuff, now we have sweet potatoes, we have, you know, cooked crayfish, cooked crab. You know, as you add more and more stuff to your system, it adds more and more stuff that you can make. Frog legs, octopus, shrimp, oysters, turtle. We can make cooking oil now. We can make a cup of tea. And you see all these are fairly weak recipes. You know, grilled mushroom barely does anything. That's a little bit better than maple sausage, but you notice it's more items. So as you add more items, it becomes better and better food for you. And we can sort by the saturation. So up here, I don't think that's sorted by saturation. Maybe it did. Huh. I thought we had one. Yeah, that one's got a lot better saturation. Why is that not at the top? Sort by hunger restored. Okay, 4, 3. So this looked like it worked, but the saturation didn't seem to work. Interesting. But you get the idea. So let me set up, get some more stuff moved over, and I want to set up for one more thing that I want to do before we head out. Alright guys, got a bunch of stuff put in here, and I did go ahead and dye the faces of the cabinets brown. Just used some cocoa beans and you know, smacked the cabinets with it. Basically any colored dye. You know, if we use this blue for example, you know, we can dye these cabinets blue, and we can dye the refrigerators as well. The only thing you can't dye is the stove. You can dye the cooking table, the sink. You can dye all those. You just cannot dye the oven. Words. So that is a thing, and it's just as easy as, you know, hold a piece of dye and bap the front of it. So if I gotta now find my cocoa beans, what did I do with them? There they are. So I can just pop those back. I don't know if I like these colors, but they'll do for now. Alright, now one thing I want to do that we don't have is we don't have a good source of milk here in the house, or in the kitchen. So I want to make milk. Now we know that milk comes from cows, and we can make a milk jar just using milk, some planks and some glass. All well and good if we throw it on the counter, but you notice there's no milk in it. So how do we get milk in it? And that does get huge when you break it. Well, here's where it gets a little bit tricksy. So we're gonna put this right here, and we're gonna put some blocks like so. Yep, just like that. And in my soul vial, I've got a cow. I'm just going to drop the cow right in there. So it's sitting right on top of that jar. Now, if I take an anvil and drop it on the cow, you see it gets sucked inside the jar, and that's just adorable. And now we've got a cow in a jar, which is just awesome. One of the best mechanics. I absolutely love it. So where are we going to put Mr. Cow? I think we're going to put him right here. That way we can come over here and look at him sitting in his little jar, and you notice he is producing milk. Look at the top center of the screen up there, and he is producing milk slowly. Eventually he'll have an entire bucket. Once he has a bucket, we can start using him with our system here. So it takes him a little while. He's not the fastest thing in the world, but he will allow us to make additional recipes with milk. And you notice we've gotten quite a few things now. So bibimbap, Korean recipe, love this. This is delicious. In real life, bacon and eggs, eggs, chocolate, boiled eggs. We've got a bunch of good stuff now, and we'll keep adding to it over time. Now, one thing, also, this kitchen is fully compatible with Actually Additions. So if we look in here, you will see a few Actually Additions recipes, like cheese, for example, and not that one. The noodles are Actually Additions, so it is absolutely compatible with that. It does also need the tools for Actually Additions. So I need to make another one of these tool racks. Let's make 2. Planks. Clear that out. Do that. Boom, 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 boom. Fantastic. Now, if we go to Actually Additions, there's some tools that are used in the cooking process to make the various Actually Additions meals. These guys all right in here. So we need to add those to our setup. Primarily a knife. So let's do this. Let's do this. And let's do that. So we can add that to our tools list. And I think that's the only one we absolutely need. Yeah, I think that's it. Is there a cup or a mug? I can't remember. Cup. There is an empty cup. I don't think that's necessary for most things. Yeah. And I don't think there's a mug. So, but let's just verify. Ah, there is. From Beanie's Extra Trees. Ooh, stone mug as well from Industrial Craft. I don't think that's necessary. So I think we're okay there. We'll put another 2 there. We'll put our knife there. We'll put our cup there. And that'll just make sure we have access to make whatever it is we can make. And it's nice because you don't have to remember recipes, and that's just awesome. You can make yogurt now. Oh, because our cow, yep, he's over 2 buckets of milk, so anything that requires milk is now included as an option. What did we get? Cooked clam. Cooking oil, we looked at that already, so there's milk, fresh milk. Heavy cream, so that's used as a recipe, you know, all these with this little symbol on them right here are used as an additive item to something else. It's something you have to craft before you can craft something else. So yeah, we're getting a whole bunch of good things. Don't forget to add in your sugar cane, of course, so you can make sugar, your eggs, and you know, all your vanilla Minecraft foods as well. Carrots and corn, or not corn, carrots, potatoes, beets, beets and wheats, so that you can make all those items as well. But I do think that is all the time I got for this episode. I sure do appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me as we build up our Cooking for Blockheads kitchen to munch on the good, delicious Pam's Harvest Craft edibles. So, until next time, you guys get out there and make some noise all up in your face. See ya.